It's story time. I don't do this very often, but today was a very significant day when I was journaling. I was writing in my journal and realized that today is February 21st. And that date is really significant because my second daughter, Jordan, was due on February 21st. However, I found out that she had hypoplastic left heart syndrome and Turner syndrome, and she was stillborn at about 6 months when I was 6 months pregnant with her. So fast forward a couple of years, I had another daughter, Joy, after her, and then I got pregnant again. And when I found out the due date, my due date for my fourth child was the same as the due date that I had for Jordan, who I lost. And that was really hard to walk through that same season of pregnancy, knowing that I had carried a child during those exact same seasons and it was due on the same day as the child that I lost. However, she was born on February 23rd and she was beautiful and perfect. And I remember walking down the hall of the hospital and I looked outside and there was snow, and we're in Tennessee and there's not a lot of snow here. And it was so beautiful, and I looked over and I saw room 221, and I put all the pieces together, and 221 was the room where I delivered Jordan, her due date that she did not make it to. And here I was several years later in the same hallway next to the same room where I carried and delivered her sister. And so it's just kind of a full circle moment for me here 14 years later, to look at this date and to realize how much has happened since then, and how much beauty from ashes God has brought, and the healing that I have been able to experience through the other children that I have. And so these are blankets that I have made. One of the things that was so significant and beautiful about the time that I was in the hospital and delivered my daughter was we were given this beautiful crocheted blanket that had been donated to the hospital that she was wrapped in. And that was the only thing that I left the hospital with. And so since then, every year I try to crochet as many blankets as I can and donate them back to the hospital on her birthday. And so many people have been so generous to donate yarn and money to help me along the way. And so these are just a few of the blankets that I've made so far this year to be able to donate, and I'm so thankful. But I just wanted to share the story because if you don't know a lot about my business, it's all started because of my daughter, Jordan. And all these years later, this date is still very significant because it just shows how much can happen and how God can use anything in your life to turn everything around.